Hey, loves, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. I am going to be talking tonight Netflix TV miniseries from scratch. We're going to be talking the good, the so much good. We're going to be talking the bad. I'm not sure that I really found that much in it that I would declare as bad. I would say that there are things that we need to challenge because it was so brilliantly put together as a production. So it's really would be unfair, especially for the obvious awards that would be coming up for it. I would not call it bad, but there are some things that do need to be challenged, and that is a discussion that begin in the culture for sure. So we're going to talk about that, the reactions from the culture, and I just want you guys to just sit back and get ready for it. Give me a moment, and we're going to come back and talk from scratch.
So you need a little break, huh? Boy, say you need a little space, yeah. Boy, is it 'cause you can't be faithful? Boy, hope she's cool, unlike you. You ain't ready for a girlfriend, no. 'Cause you think I'll steal your weekends, no. So you make up shitty reasons for wanting out. See, I'm not even mad, boy, but I'm confused. Shouldn't you be keeping me at 10 when you're 2? I can't help but feel sympathetic, I do. You think you're bad, boy, but I feel bad for you. Think you're bad, boy, think you're bad, boy, think you're bad, but I feel bad for you. I'm not even mad, I'm not even mad, I'm not mad, I'm not mad, I just feel bad for you. I was pretty when I met ya, now I'm prettier than ever, took a second to forget you, boy, only one. If you wanted to hurt me, well, you failed big time, 'cause I knew you would panic and run. I won't chase you, baby, I'm too good without. If you think that I'm crying, you're wrong. I'm not even mad, boy, but I'm confused. Shouldn't you be keeping me at 10 when you're 2? I can't help but feel sympathetic, I do. You think you're bad, boy, but I feel bad for you. Think you're bad, boy, think you're bad, boy, think you're bad, but I feel bad for you. I'm not even mad, I'm not even mad, I'm not mad, I'm not mad, I just feel bad for you. If you wanted to hurt me, well, you failed big time, 'cause I knew you would panic and run. I won't chase you, baby, I'm too good without. If you think that I'm crying, you're wrong. Think you're bad, boy, think you're bad, boy, think you're bad, but I feel bad for you. I'm not even mad, I'm not even mad, I'm not mad, I'm not mad, I just feel bad for you.
All right, you guys, so we're talking from scratch. Now, this series was set in several different locations. So, Amy, the star, or the main character, is from Houston, Texas. She's studying law, I believe, like her father wants her to study. And she decides to take a break so that she could go and study art in Michelangelo's Italy, right? So she wants to go and study art. And this is supposed to be a getaway to do so for 6 months, a promise that she makes to her father. I just want to go and experience this because she's an aspiring artist at this point, and she wants to just go and experience what that would be like. And, against, maybe not exactly what her father wants for her, she go ahead and takes this journey. And it's from the beginning, it's amazing. It's in, she arrives to Florence, Italy. Europe is amazing. I just recently took my first trip to Europe, and it really is as beautiful as the scenes that take place in the TV series. And I think what I like about what happens to Amy is like all the girls around her that she's roommating with, and they're saying to her, oh, you're here, you need to have this experience, you need to get laid, and, telling her all these things that she needs to do. And she's just like, no, I just want to go and really just, she's focused on what she really came to do. So she's on her journey to look at, the different buildings and all the different art, and really taking in the beauty that is Europe, and that I can only imagine that Florence, Italy is. and or in an organic way, she bumps into the men that she meet. The person that was for her, she didn't see him right away because she was kind of zoomed in on going after or accepting the type of person in her life that her father would have approved of. And she knew that this character that we begin to know as Lino. So she bumps into him in just an unexpected way in an alleyway while she's walking with her. I guess it's the person that she first met maybe online, or the person that they never really explained that girl's character, but she did become a friend of hers over the years. So they are just walking, and her and Lino have this awkward moment, and I remember her walking away after they, bump into each other, and she turns around like, I like your shoes, and kind of left Lino like, wait, what? But he instantly felt this thing for her, So he's like all into Amy before she's into Lino, because she's distracted by this other guy that, he's, has money and he owns this gallery, and it just seems like everything is in common with this other character. And you know what, honestly, he doesn't matter, does he? Because we only love Lino. I don't remember that character's name. It wasn't Saeed, right? Oh, he played was his name David? I don't even remember. No, David is the neighbor, right? I have no idea. It's just that not Lino. We're talking about that guy that she dated that owned the art gallery in the beginning. So who knows? But I mean, this love story that unfolds you can't jump up here. That unfolds between Amy and Lino is so realistic, but it's organic. They didn't type on a computer to find each other or swipe left or right or whatever you guys doing online. Like, they literally bumped into each other. So the universe said, this is meant to be. She was forcing herself to go over here, to have this experience, and to be in Italy and be there for 6 months. And in doing so and following what was in her gut, she runs into what was supposed to be for her. And that's Lino. So we begin to just get into this relationship. And there's a point when they meet and, things kind of go not so good towards the end of their time in Italy, and they separate. But, as they go into the next episode, they are continuing to communicate. And now Lino is taking a trip to Los Angeles to see her. He's relocated. Lino is from Sicily. Okay, so that's another important part. He's from Sicily. He's a chef in Italy when he meets Amy, but he's from Sicily. So it's hilarious, in the beginning of their trying to get Lino on his foot in America, and they're in Los Angeles, and her sister Zora is in Los Angeles as a school teacher, so they end up roommating with Zora. So there's like a lot of funny moments, and Lino is just going through this process where Amy's trying to find herself in the art world. She finds her just happens on a really great job, impresses at the interview and gets a really great job at a nice upscale gallery. So she has a great start, and Lino's in a struggle because he's this gourmet chef in Florence, Italy, and he comes over here to America where America's not appreciating, the food and the type of food that he likes to cook. So, and there's this journal that Amy bought for him when they were in their 6-month romance in Italy. And sorry, that's my baby. That's my puppy, Enigma. He wants to be on the podcast. So there is this book, this journal, and he brings that with him to America and starts writing all these recipes in it. And Lino just has like a real love for food and taking great care in sharing the Sicilian recipes that he's learned over the years and his presentation. And you're just going to fall. Of course, they say that about Italy anyway, but he's going to really fall in love with the food that he presents when they're in Florence, Italy, but then also when he brings those foods to the table when they're back in America. Now, Amy's family is, we love her family. Her mom is a woman that left them when they were younger, and she's fun. We y'all remember her from Bernie Mac's show, so we love her. And so she plays Lynn. The character plays this mom, eccentric mom, very very well. And she left them when they were young, and raised the girls Daddy Herschel raised the girl along with his new wife Maxine. So Maxine is pretty much taking care of Zora and Amy since they were little girls. Lynn just kind of comes in and out of their lives and over the years with all these different love affairs that she has with different guys. So she never really is married or connected to one relationship. So she's always kind of like the unstable part of their upbringing. And I feel like they covered the complex issues that can happen in blended families. They covered it really well and from scratch. And Herschel and Maxine are raising the girls, and the characters. Keith David, just brings it. Judah Scott brings it. Kalita Smith brings it. Danielle Deadweiler brings it. Zoe Saldana as Amy brings it. Danielle Deadweiler plays her sister Zora, and their connection, the real sisterhood interactions that really do happen in real life were played off really well in this TV series. And Eugenio plays Lino, and he's this Sicilian guy, and he's chosen an African-American girl from Houston, Texas, and he has to learn and blend into their lifestyle. And fast forward, even for those, if it's a spoiler alert at this point, but we're about to be talking Wakanda Forever if you haven't seen it by now. But I like how they jump the broom at the wedding. Like he becomes totally immersed into her culture because his father decides that he's upset with Lino, and he didn't like that he ran off to go be a chef, and he kind of looked down on that little lifestyle of Lino as a chef. Didn't really see that for his son, and wanted his son to stay and do the family business of the farming in Sicily. So he didn't accept it. And also color. He did not like that Lino had chosen to be with Amy, who's an African-American, playing... she's an African-American, and she's not Sicilian, and that's what he wanted for his son. So he just doesn't speak to him. He was already not speaking to Lino because he was a chef before Amy came along, but then when he called to say, hey, I found this girl, and we're going to get married, and Dad just cut him off. Like, you're dead to me kind of attitude. And Mom, of course, is hurt by that because she wants to go to the wedding. That's her son, so, but Sicilian women seem extremely submissive, and did everything that her husband told her to do. So I found that, to be interesting. Also, just seeing the TV series did a really great job at portraying for the viewers everything that happens in a Sicilian family, and covered really well the things that do happen in a black family, especially when someone steps out into a mixed culture relationship. So, and the reactions that happen, and learning each other's different ways. The Thanksgiving dinner was hilarious because spent all that time, going to the store for Zora to get all the ingredients and putting this dinner together in Los Angeles. And then the family comes from Houston, and they all come over, and they don't touch the food that he spent all day putting these Sicilian dishes together, which was his culture. And they are all like, no, we just want the turkey and the dressing and the collard greens and, the cornbread. And so he's having to adapt to what our culture is as a black family, and they were not willing to test his culture, which I do find to be something that we tend to do a lot. We always think, oh no, this is this way and that's the only way, but you could really learn a lot from just, stepping outside the box and tasting, at least live your life having at least tried something different for once, And when we're finding that the foods that white supremacists taught us to eat in the first place, when we find that a lot of the foods that were introduced or that we were forced to eat because we had no other choices, a lot of those foods are killing our culture. And we're losing a lot of our family members to those foods. So is there something that we can learn from another culture? So I think that it makes a great point that the both cultures love food. Like, food brings the family together. There was always great family laughing moments at the table as they shared the experience of sitting and sharing food and wine, and the joy that great meals can bring, and coming together as a family can bring, no matter what the dish is, right? So the movie, to me, From Scratch, does a really great job of showing us both sides, the Sicilian culture and the African American culture, and just giving people from the screen a very good visual of both, right? And it's the beauty of the characters, of the way that they're able to portray who these people are and their real feelings of, I don't like that, that's different, and why do you guys do that? And like, all of the actors were just really good at bringing this off screen into our hearts, right? So I really am impressed. And the presentation alone, the music, the soundtrack is just everything. You're missing out if you're not watching From Scratch, because the soundtrack is put together phenomenally, as you're going to see as they come up for all kinds of awards, right? So it was put together really well. The production is really, really great. And one episode, and you feel like you've been there for an hour and a half, or maybe, how long were the episodes? Were they like 60 minutes, or were they longer than that?
Oh no.
Yeah, they just feel really long, like you watch a whole movie in each episode. There's a total of 8 episodes. And you're just going to fall in love with love and life. And the movie also covers the real life disparities that take place for a young couple that's starting out and trying to get their careers on the ground, and trying to decide, before any children come along, whose career is more important, which one, do we support? Are we putting too much time into what you want and not into what I want? And, here's my life over here and here's my life there. When I'm at work, but we come together, and Lino and Amy, they do a really great job at loving on each other through the good, the bad, and the ugly. And Amy's reactions to everything that happens in their lives are what really, because it's what Lino brought to the table in the beginning, but then when he thought, I don't know, maybe this don't work, he walked away from her. It's really Amy that pulled them back together and had them work. So I like how she did the work, because relationships are work, and the writers and the actors take this book and they put it into a film, and they help us really see like everything that the author is trying to bring to life in this particular production. So it's done very well, and you definitely have to go see it if you have not done so. What else was I going to say? So the disparities that happen, promotions, and then there's a job offer that comes that's more like what her goals are and what she dreams of in life, but it's a major pay cut, and it's not very glamorous, but it's everything that was fulfilling for her heart. And so that opportunity comes, and then she has to, battle whether or not she should take it or not, or stay with this really great gallery job, and the influences that this job was bringing her. When she makes the decision, real life stuff, right when she makes the decisions to take the pay cut and go this direction towards her dreams, that's when something begins to start happening with Lino. So then we watch, he gets, the same thing happens for him. He finally says, I'm going to own a restaurant. He's working at this crappy restaurant that the customers stop coming to in Los Angeles, and he's trying to do these great dishes, and the other cooks are like, man, just serve what's on the menu. And people stop coming, and he knows it's because of the food. And he gets an opportunity for the owners, give him an opportunity to rent the place out for himself. So now his dream starts becoming a reality, just like Amy's dream at the same time is becoming a reality. And he takes over this restaurant, right? And now he's building his dream, and he's got employees, and everything is going well. And all of a sudden, he starts limping, and then his knee, and then he doesn't know what's wrong with his knee. And the next thing you know, real life stuff, he ends up in the hospital, and turns out he has a major injury. And then going into that injury, they find out that he has cancer. So now life starts taking a whole different turn, and going in a direction that they both did not see coming. And now that other job at that upscale gallery that may not be her goals and her dreams starts sounding really good to Amy, because Leno's bills are going to start piling up as this reality of the fact that he has cancer and now has to undergo chemo treatments. Like, real life stuff is happening in this film, right? Just no one's seeing color at this point. Not that we don't see color, but you're like, any culture can relate to what this couple is, what the couple's going through, because this is stuff that really happens in real life if you live long enough, right? So so then they start fighting the medical disparities, the racism in the medical system. Now, that starts coming to light, right? This is the Italian guy with a black wife showing up at the hospital, and the people are not respecting the fact that is his family, that she is his wife. And, so that happens, and highlighting how the hospitals can be, from emergency room to being an inpatient, with different doctors, that the doctor on staff for the day begins to run tests and, want labs. And then the next doctor, test labs, all the different doctors. No one's talking to each other. That's the reality of the medical system. They don't share their notes, and the primary doesn't really show up right away. And it's just a whole big mess. And they are able to bring that in this love story. And, this book that's portrayed made into a film. So From Scratch is a good one to watch. And there's more that comes. Of course, you need to go watch the film. I did a lot of spoilers, but you definitely need to go watch the film. And then we're going to come back, okay, and I'm going to talk to you about some of the reactions that I saw, not unexpected, but that I did see in the culture reactions.
I can't let you go, baby. I just want to tell you that. No. Yeah. All of my friends say, girl, you better take care. 'Cause that man is trouble, you best beware. And though deep down, I know I might be headed for teardrops. Now that you got me started, I just can't stop. No. 'Cause I love you, baby. I can't let you go, baby. I gotta tell you that I've been looking for love so true. When I was down and out, along came you. Though you might be a liar, I just can't quit you now 'cause I love you. Yes, I do. I can't let you go, baby. I can't let you go, baby. 'Cause I love you, I love you, I love you. No.
Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. Make sure that you are sharing the podcast, and I am going to share with my Swellcast family, my Wisdom family. You can also find me on social media. I am Dee Shields. Make sure that you are sharing and supporting and getting ready for all things that I have coming up next. So I looked at the culture reactions across social media, and I have a mixed family. I'm born into a family that has mixed cultures. I made children with mixed cultures, and my children are making children with mixed cultures. So I grew up with all cultures that you can think of in a close-knit community and church. So I tend to see things as for what they are. Yes, racism is extremely real, and there are agendas that are being pushed out there by a lot of people to try to erase what we are. But there is a lie being put out, like, okay, there's no black on black love in the film. That is not true. That is not true. What do you guys think Zora and Ken are? Zora and Ken are black on black love. Herschel and Maxine are black on black love. And Zora, unlike Herschel and Maxine, who are done raising their two black daughters, and Lynn, the biological mom, done raising these two amazing black girls. Zora and Ken are on the way to building their family, which is going to be an all-black family. So there is black on black love in the film, right? So a lot of people focusing on the chatter and the characters, Lino and Amy, but there is more that happens in the film. Major representation of Texas. We like to do it B-I-G, do it big or go home is quoted a lot in the movie. That's what we do, right? So there's just great things that happen in the film, and we are represented in the film. I'm the type of person that's like this. I'm going to support the film if one of us are in it. I get 4 or 5 or 6 of us or more in it, I'm there to support the film as well. But even if one of us show up, I'm going to go over there and support that film. That's the way that it's supposed to be, right? It's already lonely enough on different films where they're the only one and they're the only black character in the whole cast of people. So that can already be lonely enough. And then to have the black community not show up because the movie's not black enough, that probably is hurtful to the actors, right? But we love Danielle. We love, the characters. We love Keith David. We love the people that are in this film individually in their own projects across their career. So we're supporting them also. And Zoe Saldana, we've seen her in a host of different things. So, but I did see the culture with a lot of reactions to people who have not seen the film, and they're telling you that there's no black on black love in the film, and that's not true. Amy and Lino are the main character. They are representing this blended family, but in this blended family, you do have Zora and Ken who come along. Ken comes along later in Zora's life, and they fall in love, and a lot of tests that come with her and Amy during that time, and then, they begin their family. So there is even Asian representation in the film, a realistic situation that happens to an Asian couple that end up pregnant, and they have to make a decision to continue school, and they know they can no longer keep the baby, and that's when Lino and Amy come into their lives, and they end up I can't even remember, she ends up getting pregnant because they were going to make the baby with Lino, right? Like donating his sperm. Weren't they going to do that at first? But then it ends up, that's actually confusing about the film, because the Asian girl says, thank you guys for coming along because I wanted to finish school. But then they talked about for a moment about doing the IVF, right? And donating his sperm. So I don't know. That's I don't know. That part was confusing, but give me a reason to go back and watch the film, right? So there's representation for sure. So the culture reactions, a lot of people are speaking of things that are going on in the real world and kind of making this film responsible for those things that are happening. Yeah, there are constant images going on across commercials and food products and things like that to push mixed couples, and there seems to be this constant need to do away with images of black women that look like me, right? They're doing more images of mixed women or mixed black women or light skin, and so we're going back into that whole era for sure, in a worse way, because they are trying to do away with critical race theory and trying to do away with talking about slavery. And yes, this is an attempt at the higher ups to do this thing that they think is going to be helpful in 100 years, to pretend as if racism never existed and to blend all these different cultures and say, well, look at that. Look, all these cultures are blended and there was never really any black on black love. And yes, we see the agenda. We do see the agenda, but I don't think that we can really make From Scratch the guilty party solely, or put it all on this one film. I think it's a film that people should go and watch. I am a widow, so there are, I don't want to tell the movie, but there's a lot that people can get from life as a whole, from love, jobs, careers, family, dysfunction, disagreements, support, loss and grief, and moving forward, and the medical system and the disparities in culture, and decision making and cancer, and it's a lot that happens. It's a lot that happens. Financial status. The gay couple there is a gay representation in the film. The gay couple that rents the place out to Lino and Amy. So, yeah. So, it may be that if you have been told a certain thing by different people speaking on this film, you probably should go and watch it and see what you get from it for yourself. That would be my thought. But going forward, you guys, we are about to head to Wakanda forever. So there are going to be a lot of spoilers, I'm sure, on social media. I'm going to try to jump around and over them all weekend until I see the film at the end of the weekend. But let me know your thoughts and share your reactions to From Scratch if you do get a chance to watch it. And let's get ready to talk Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I heard there's a bunch of surprises in there that we are not ready for, and we'll get ready to talk that one also. I am your host, Dee Shields. Make sure you continue to follow me in my journey as I get on the motivational speaker higher stage. So I hope that you continue to stick with me so you can be a part of it. Follow my reels on Facebook, Dee Shields, and he's at least 99 more followers. So can you go and do that? Can you go follow my reels under Dee Shields on Facebook? I could use 99 more followers. And follow me on social media. I am Dee Shields. I am DeeShields. I appreciate you guys.